this may be one of the most challenging and impactful series of storms to touch down in California.
California under a state of emergency as a powerful storm moves across the state.
Evacuations in place, piers and roads shut down, all as the Southland prepares for the worst.
And with the rain comes the snow. The urgent warning from Caltrans to stay safe on the roads.
This is Kcal News Mornings.
And good morning. Today is Thursday, January 5th. I'm Ruta Shabazi.
And I'm Marcy Gonzalez. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on Kcal News and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. Well, there's a big story this morning, that massive storm that is bearing down on the Southland, bringing heavy rain, strong winds, and fears of flooding.
Yeah, we have team coverage all morning long. Our reporters are out in the field chasing that rain, and here in the studio, our assignment manager, Mark Liu, is looking at the latest breaking weather news. Kalina Estrinos is tracking road conditions, but we begin with Olga Espina with your next weather forecast. Olga.
Hi, good morning, ladies. And yes, we are tracking a lot of rain across Southern California on this Thursday, and we're going to continue to see it really for several more hours. So as we take a look, you can see a lot of that rain out through the San Gabriel Valley, some of those foothills and mountains getting still some of that rain. Where you see those yellows, that indicates those stronger cells. Snow up in the mountains. So yes, it is going to be nice out there at the resorts. As far as eastern IE, not looking too bad yet, but you are going to be getting in on a lot more of that rain as we continue through the morning and even into the afternoon. So I'll take you through that satellite radar tracker. You can see that by 7 a.m. when it is going to be really busy on the roads, we are seeing some pockets of really heavy rain out through some of those foothill areas and moving into the Inland Empire. So by 8 a.m., i.e., you will be experiencing a lot of that really heavy rain. And even as we head into late morning, still seeing some of that moderate to heavy rainfall continuing through our region. So we'll talk about what to expect as we head into this afternoon and of course the weekend in just a few minutes. For now, a look at the roads with Kalina. How are things looking out there?
Olga, good morning. It has been so busy. You might be driving, or as you head out the door, you might have seen those signs that say stay off the roadway if you can. Please do that. We're just continuing to see all of these problem spots popping up this morning. We still have all lanes blocked off on the 10 eastbound. This is right at Kellogg. This is all because of a traffic accident that we had here. They've issued a SIG alert, so there's no duration on when it'll actually be lifted. So it is causing a delay there as you approach the 57. You can take the 57, though. Traffic is being diverted in that direction. Now, the 5 freeway northbound right at Paramount, this is our camera where you can see traffic starting to build here. We have a crash adding to this delay. And of course, I'll continue to track all the issues that we have out there this morning.
And there are so many of them. Kalina, thank you. California now under a state of emergency as this latest storm sweeps the state.
And we're already seeing some saturated roads in the San Fernando Valley. We have Kcal's Tina Patel live in Burbank, where some of these streets are now blocked off. Tina.
Yeah, and we're actually in Van Nuys on Burbank Boulevard. And if I kind of show behind me, the street now is closed. There are officers up and down Burbank trying to keep people out of this area because of the flooding. Let me show you some video from just maybe an hour ago that shows you what we were seeing when the road was still open. The problem is because it is so dark, cars were going through and not realizing that there were several inches of water on the roadway. Now, we didn't see anybody get stuck through those floods, but because there has been severe flooding in the Sepulveda Basin in the past, the CHP, the LAPD, they didn't want to take any chances. So Burbank Boulevard is now closed from Balboa Boulevard to the 405. This is not going to be open for the morning commute. Take a look at this video, because earlier on the 101 freeway, we also saw some flooding, and that had to lead to some lane closures. This was on the Van Nuys exit, the right two lanes. The water was just pulling up. Caltrans crews got there really quickly. They started working on the storm drain, getting that water to drain, and they were able to open those lanes of traffic. But both on surface streets and on the freeways, we're seeing, especially on those far lanes, we're seeing water start to pool up, and it's a little bit hard to tell. So please be cautious as you're on the the roads this morning. As we come back out here live, we are over the Sepulveda Dam, and we can see a lot of water flowing through right now. It's still a little bit dark, so it's hard to tell just how much it is rising, but we are going to be keeping an eye in this area where we're already starting to see some flooding issues, and we'll continue to update you throughout the morning about the conditions out here. I know, ladies, that our camera's a little foggy because of all the weather, but that's what we've been warning you about, and that's what we'll continue to warn you about throughout the morning.
Okay, Tina, thank you so much. And we are getting pounded by one of the most powerful rainstorms in years.
And there is particular concern about a recent burn area. Cara Finstrom is live in Duarte with more on the situation there. Cara.
Good morning. The rain's still coming down very hard. We're in an area that is under a yellow alert. About 25 homes here along Mill Canyon Road of concern because right above here are some hillsides that were badly damaged during the fish fire. And the concern is that some of that earth can come down. Now, they're not expecting major mud flows, but again, they are concerned that some of that earth could come down. So take a look at this. No parking, no trash cans allowed along this street at this point as things progress. Now, giving you a look at some of the road signs that we saw earlier this morning as we headed into work. This is along the freeway, the 210 in the Pasadena area. They're asking folks to avoid travel through tonight because of how much water the storm is expected to drop. Caltrans workers say that they have already cleared out storm drains, hoping to help keep the rainwater draining as it should. And back here live, giving you a look at some of the K-rails that have also been installed along the street. All the way up the street, reinstalled, we should say. They've had them here before because there's been a number of fires, and there have been some mud flows here in the past, a really bad one back in 2016. So neighbors here say they will watch and wait, and they are glad these precautions are being taken.
All right, Cara, thank you. And it is a tough day for driving. All this rain making it so dangerous out there.
It really is. And we could see some flooding in some areas. So we want to get right to Kcal's Rick Montanez live along the 15 in the Cajon Pass. Rick, how's it looking out there?
Very slick conditions here on the road. And of course, more rain continues to fall. Let's switch over and show you the road camera here, where you can see a lot of rain coming down. And as we've been talking about this morning, the sun's not up yet, so still dark, still difficult to see where a lot of this water is collecting on the freeway and on the roads. And we've actually seen a couple of spinouts so far. We just passed a 2-car crash and then a single car crash where you can tell those cars both hit the side walls here along the freeway because their headlights were smashed out. So dangerous, tricky conditions. We even talked with someone who said, I'm just going to pull over because the conditions are too dangerous. Listen.
We're actually trying to drive to Utah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's kind of like delaying us a lot.
You think you'll make it today?
No, definitely not. I told my sister, I was like, we're not driving. I'm too scared.
So we're back live looking at the 15. This is northbound lanes here, and we're approaching the 138 off-ramp. So to give you kind of an idea of where we are north of Cleghorn Road, very slick conditions, and be safe as traffic starts to fill in on the freeways. I'm Rick Montanez, live in the Cajon Pass for Kcal News.
Rick, thank you. And the heavy rains are causing multiple power outages. Let's check in with the desk. Our assignment manager, Mark Liu, joins us with the details. Mark.
Marcy and Rudabeh, this storm is already here and it is causing a lot of problems. Our breaking news photographer has been very busy this morning. Take a look at this video. I want to show you some video from Burbank. This is near Oak Street and Beechwood. This tree came down at about 11 p.m. right across the road. The entire road is now blocked. It's about 40 feet tall, and now Burbank PD and City Works are working to get a crew out there to cut this thing up and remove it. Thankfully, no injuries in this one. But, you know, falling trees in this storm are going to contribute to the other thing that we're tracking, and that's power outages. I've been in touch with both LADWP and Southern California Edison, the two major power providers in this area. Take a look at my computer screen here. This is Southern California Edison's power outage map. Now, as you can see, there are power outages all over Southern California right now. They say that about 2,100 customers are without power, and the restore times are quite variable. It could be as short as 1 hour. It could be long as multiple hours. LADWP is in better shape. They say just about 200 customers are without power, but they say anyone experiencing a power outage right now can expect that power outage to last as possibly as long as 8 to 10 hours. That is a huge amount of time to be without your power. Now, we're going to keep monitoring power outages and, of course, all of the breaking news, trees coming down and flooding here at the assignment desk. I'll bring you the very latest. Back to you.
All right, so much going on today, Mark. Thank you. And there is other news to look at this morning as well. The search is on for the man who was caught on camera abusing a dog in Riverside County. And we do want to warn you, this video is tough to watch. It shows the man picking up the dog and throwing it over a razor wire fence. The man then walks away, abandoning the animal. This happened December 15th at an abandoned cell tower in the Winchester area. Thankfully, the dog is now okay and at the shelter in Jurupa Valley. LA County has logged more than 2,100 new COVID cases, 1,200 hospitalizations, and 26 deaths. The data released yesterday comes after the county health department reported nearly 7,000 new COVID cases over the long holiday weekend. And a fundraiser for the family of fallen Riverside County Sheriff's Deputy Isaiah Cordero has surpassed its goal now. The Help a Hero fundraiser has topped $100,000. Deputy Cordero was shot and killed by a convicted felon during a traffic stop last week. His funeral will be held tomorrow morning. The LAPD, Sheriff's Department, and LA Fire joining the Red Cross for the Battle of the Badges blood donation campaign. It's a big effort to help keep the blood supply stocked, and they're asking you to respond to the call too. If you're interested in donating, head to kcalnews.com for details.
And good morning, everyone. We are seeing a lot of rain across Southern California. Look at these totals so far, and we're still going to continue to see more rain throughout the day. Pasadena is at an inch, nearly 2 inches of rain so far for Porter Ranch. Same for Van Nuys. Long Beach, just under an inch. Woodland Hills, nearly 3 inches so far. Agoura Hills nearing 2 inches. And yes, we continue seeing a lot of rain across Southern California, continuing to push to the east. So I'll continue tracking this for you. Kalina Strino's tracking the roads for you in your next traffic report. Good morning.
Olga, good morning. And we have an unfortunate update to one of our problem spots from earlier. We've learned the problem on the 10 freeway heading eastbound at Kcal is now a deadly crash. So the investigation will be here for a while. They're not giving us a timeline on when lanes may open up. We do have all lanes still blocked off here, and that backup just continuing to build as you head out of West Covina. If you have to take the 10, you're going to be diverted on the 57 if you even get there. So you might want to take the 210 or the 60 freeways to help you get around this, again, this deadly crash. We also have another problem on the 91. This is right at Cherry. All lanes also blocked off here. They're trying to clear a crash at this moment. Ruta Bay, Marcy.
Sad news, Kalina, thank you. Time now 6:12, and history in the making at the Vatican. A live look now at packed St. Peter's Square for the funeral of Pope Benedict XVI.
Plus drama in D.C., a historic deadlock in Congress as efforts to vote for Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House keep falling flat. I'll tell you what's next today.
And California's bomb cyclone, the big news today. It has caught the attention of high-profile weather chasers. They're flying into the heart of this storm. We'll have the details when we return.
Local news doesn't happen here.
It happens here and all of the places you live. The same places we live. Los Angeles is our home. And it takes one of LA's largest news teams. Now with the most hours of news to cover local news in real time.
Yeah, news happens here.
And we have you covered here.
Kcal 9 is now Kcal News Los Angeles. More local news.
Taking a live look at Los Angeles now. If you're just waking up, you're in for some rough weather. Welcome to Kcal News Mornings at 6 and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. The time now 6:15, and this storm system pouring rain all over the state. It's actually so big, the military has sent out special planes from its Air Force Reserve Command Weather Squadron to study it. The large military planes were loaded with meteorological equipment and landed in Sacramento yesterday. They're expected to fly into the heart of the storm over the Bay Area today.
And several communities along California's Pacific coast are under evacuation orders as this major storm moves through. Already dealing with severe flooding, residents up and down the state are preparing for the worst. The heavy rains are particularly dangerous for areas with recent burn scars from wildfires, as well as areas near rivers and streams.
Joining us now to tell us more about why this system continues to be so dangerous is Weather Channel meteorologist Jim Cantore. Welcome.
Rudabeh, Marcy, good morning. Thanks for having me here this morning. The reason why this is so bad is because it's really never going to end. We just have a succession of storms that'll just continue to roll in here with very high moisture content. And that's why we're seeing these rainfall totals pretty much be off the charts. We've got mudslides, obviously trees down with the wind, and power outages as a result of that. So here's kind of a look at these atmospheric rivers. All right, one storm coming in now. We get a little bit of a break. Here's the next one for Friday and Saturday, and you notice how they kind of link up and are together. And you mentioned the hurricane hunters that are out here to study the storms. They're actually flying out into these rivers, and they're looking at how wide they are and how deep they are with the moisture content to better give us an idea of how much rain actually comes down. By the time we get into early next week, this may be the biggest one of them all. But this is after we've already had event after event after event. So is it the straw that breaks the camel's back? We'll see. I mean, look at the rain in Northern California, down into the Central Coast, even into Southern California. We will deal with tremendous rainfall and very, very high elevation snows that'll be in the feet category. Here are these AR ratings. 3, 4, and 5. That's what we're going to deal with as we go through the next 7 days. And if you look at the days that they last, oftentimes they overlap with a pattern like this. So instead of dealing with 1 to 3 days, we get a break. We have 3 days, then another 3 days, and then another 2 to 3 days on top of that. So it's really about a 10-day period of very heavy rain. Flood watches are all over the place because of saturated grounds. If you go back and look at the last month, we have had anywhere from 20 to 30 inches of rain. But look at that. We just today, for the first time since May 2022, got out of the extreme or the worst level of drought. Obviously, it's still bad statewide long term, which means we have a long way to go. And this is just a testament to how bad this drought is. High wind warnings all over the place, especially on the coast. We're still going to gust to 50, 60 miles per hour with some of this, especially as we get into Friday with the next atmospheric river coming in. Busy pattern. California will be at the head of the weather headlines over the next several days. Guys, back to you.
Jim Cantore for us. Thank you. And California, as you mentioned, the center of national attention right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And Olga is giving us another look at our forecast as we see the radar behind you, just how bad this storm is right now.
Yeah, really active out there right now, and will continue to be so even as we head into the afternoon hours. So here is the good news. Yes, Central Coast, Northern California, still expecting more rain as we head into Friday, Saturday. We're going to catch a little bit of a break before more rain heads our way. But right now we are dealing with a lot of wet weather out there. So we're going to zoom in and show you exactly where we're seeing some of those stronger cells. Some moderate to heavy rain out through the San Gabriels at the moment, even making its way into Orange County. And we're going to continue to see that storm pushing to the east. Up in the mountains, we're seeing plenty of snow also. This is high elevation snow. So starting off at about 8,000 feet, but lowering to about 5,500, 6,000 feet as we head into the afternoon and into tonight, even early Friday. So you can still see some spots. Looking at some dry weather, that is not going to last long because we're going to continue to see that storm pushing out into those areas. So I'll take you through the morning, show you what to expect as we continue into the 7 a.m. hour. And you are still seeing some pockets of heavy rain out through L.A., those higher elevations, some of those mountain areas, and into the Santa Clarita Valley also. 9 a.m., look at that. Inland Empire getting some heavy rain also. And even as we head into late morning, 10:30, 11 a.m., a lot of LA and Ventura, look at that, looking at some clear conditions, at least for the moment. But Orange County into the Inland Empire seeing some very heavy rain before another wave of energy starts to move through as we head into the afternoon hours. And that's when the Santa Clarita Valley once again gets that heavy rain, a little bit more scattered in nature by the afternoon hours. And look at what happens as we head into 6 p.m. This is going to be your commute time tonight. And it's really over the Coachella Valley as far as that heavy rain. Parts of Santa Clarita as well. But things will continue to wind down as we head into late Thursday. And as we head into early Friday, here is your commute tomorrow, looking a lot better. All right, we're going to take a look at your traffic now. The roads, I know they've been a mess, Kalina.
Yes, and we have another problem to tell you about this morning. The wet conditions causing flooding out on our roadways, and this is a new spot where we're seeing that. It's on the 710 heading northbound, right at the 91, right at that connector road. Looks like 3 right lanes are flooded right now. The only lane that's not is that far left lane. And you can see traffic building in both directions right now on the 710 and also on the 91 heading away from the area and toward the 710. So give yourself extra time. You can take the 605 as an alternate route instead. And we still have this problem eastbound 91 right at Cherry. All lanes are blocked right now on the eastbound side. That's because they're trying to clear a crash. This deadly crash ongoing eastbound 10. The investigation continues right at Kellogg. All lanes blocked off here as well. Ladies.
Kalina, thanks so much. The time now 6:21. We are still tracking the Southland storm. The atmospheric river now blanketing the mountains in snow and fog.
And a lot of people wondering if it could impact air travel. We have the latest details on the flight status of planes leaving LAX. That's right ahead.
David Goldstein, weeknights, Kcal News.
CBS News Los Angeles, your local news, streaming wherever, whenever.
All right, welcome back. It's not just rain slamming the Southland and the San Bernardino Mountains. We're seeing snow, fog, and wind as well. On the drive on Highway 18 to Big Bear, conditions are dicey because of that thick fog. Look at that. And remember, if you do have to drive today, just be especially careful.
Basically no visibility there. Well, it is a somber day at the Vatican. This is a live look just hours after the remains of former Pope Benedict XVI were buried in a tomb in the grotto there. Thousands of mourners from all over the world packed St. Peter's Square.
Mani di unzione e benedizione che lo spinsero a consegnarsi anche.
It was a historic moment with Pope Francis presiding over his predecessor's funeral in St. Peter's Square. During the Mass, Pope Francis hailed Benedict as a faithful friend. The coffin was later taken back inside the basilica and encased in zinc before being sealed in a second wooden casket. Pope Benedict shocked millions of Catholics when he resigned back in 2013. He was the first to do so in 600 years. Pope Benedict died last Saturday at the age of 95.
Well, House Republicans will try for the third day in a row to elect a speaker after 6 unsuccessful attempts over 2 days. Kcal News' Tom Waite has the details from the newsroom.
The House of Representatives remains in limbo as GOP leader Kevin McCarthy's bid for the Speaker's gavel stands on the precipice. Wednesday, he lost 3 more votes, bringing his losses to 6, all at the hands of 20 so-called GOP rebels who are blocking his victory to net concessions on limiting power if he wins. House members reconvene at noon.
That was Tom Waite for us. Ahead of the Republican negotiations that took place late into the night, McCarthy reiterated that he has no plans to step aside.
The Newport Beach man behind the college admissions scandal has been sentenced to 3.5 years in prison. Here's video of Rick Singer leaving court in Boston after his day in court. Wealthy parents paid Singer to get their kids into elite schools. There were more than 50 arrests and convictions, including celebrities Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin. NFL safety Damar Hamlin remains in critical condition this morning.
Yeah, so many people rooting for him across the country. His team, the Buffalo Bills, says his condition is improving, though. Hamlin's uncle says he was receiving 100% of his oxygen from a ventilator, but that has now been cut in half. And of course, for the league, the pain is still fresh. At a press briefing yesterday, league executive Troy Vincent fought back tears.
My greatest fear had flashed in front of me, but for the goodness and grace of God, Damar is still here and he's still fighting.
Around the country, support continues to grow for Hamlin. Buffalo Bills Blue lighting up Niagara Falls, and a GoFundMe Hamlin started for his charity before his injury, now approaching $7 million. The time now 6:27, and we continue our live team coverage of that powerful storm slamming the Southland.
And with all this rain, there is growing concern in burn scar areas. We'll have a closer look at the preps. Stay with us. You are watching Kcal News Mornings at 6.
Traffic on Kcal News is sponsored by Jacoby & Myers. Justice for you since 1972.
Kcal News Mornings.
And good morning. Today is Thursday, January 5th. I'm Marcy Gonzalez.
I'm Rudabeh Shabasi. Here are the stories we're tracking this morning. The big storm has touched down. The Southland now getting the brunt of a massive bomb cyclone.
Like they say, it has a chance to soak in, and then that's all got to go somewhere.
Plus, communities on edge, the growing threats of flooding and mudslides.
And that rain could bring dangerous road conditions, already has across the Southland. What could you do to keep yourself safe?
And that is the big story. The big storm is here, and we have been tracking the storm's path and how it could affect your day. From the conditions out on the roads to the evacuations in place, we have live team coverage all morning long. Our reporters are out in the field chasing the rain and the fallout.
But here in the studio, we have our Chris Holmstrom and assignment desk manager Mark Liu looking at all the big breaking weather news. And Kalina Strinos is tracking road conditions. But we begin today with Olga Espina and your next weather forecast. Olga.
Hi, good morning, ladies. Yes, we are tracking a lot of rain across Southern California. We've been experiencing it in the overnight hours. And as you get on the roads for this morning commute, it is going to be heavy rain for some of you. So here's a look at what is happening. We're seeing some of those stronger cells in the foothills, the mountains of the San Gabriel Valley. Still some moderate rain as we continue into parts of the Inland Empire. And yes, also some snow with the system out through some of those resorts. We are getting some snow, but those levels will continue to lower as we head into the afternoon, evening, and even early Friday. So I'll continue tracking this for you all morning long. For now, we're going to take a look at the roads, and Kalina Strinos is tracking that for us. Good morning.
Good morning. We do have this deadly crash that we've been tracking all morning for you. The investigation continues here. This is the eastbound side of the 10 right at Kellogg Drive. All lanes are still blocked off here. That backup now as you leave West Covina and head toward the 57. Traffic is being diverted onto the 57 freeway, but if you have to head out, you can take the 210 or the 60 freeways instead. That'll help you get around that delay. Flooding continues northbound 710 right at the 91. Only the left lane is not flooded right now. All other lanes are seeing some issues here. That's causing problems in both directions of the 710 right around the 91. Same thing goes for the 91. We had a crash that hit the guardrail there. They're now working to repair that guardrail, and we have the off-ramp blocked off because of it. You can see that black indicating the issues that we're seeing there. Again, this is on the 91 in both directions. Here on the 22, when I head out to Orange County, you can see both directions here somewhat moving nicely. Looks like we do have some traffic out there overall, but not too bad of a commute. And as we head on out toward the Inland Empire, I want to give you an overview for you here. Everything else looks great, but again, the wet conditions causing lots of issues this morning. So please be careful if you do have to head out and leave plenty of space in between you and the car in front of you. Rudabeh, Marcy.
Good advice, Kalina. Thank you. And there is particular concern, of course, in some of the recently burned areas across the Southland. Kcal 9's Cara Finstrom is live in Duarte with the latest. Cara.
Good morning. Sheriff deputies out patrolling these streets as the rain continues to come down. You can see the key rails have been put up here along Mill Canyon Road. That's because this is one of the areas of greatest concern. About 25 homes here along this street are under a yellow alert that will last until tomorrow morning because of the fear that these rains could cause the hillsides above, which were badly damaged during the fish fire, to give way. Folks here, they have been through this drill before, and they say they've got their fingers crossed.
Not the very last storm, but the storm before this one, it poured. And I didn't think anything of it. I went into my backyard to pull some plants, and I fell in a sinkhole. All the way down to my knee here. So I'm not as worried as I was then. They're all ready. Duarte City is just ready.
And so far, so good out here. We have been getting quite a bit of rain, but everything seems to be getting soaked up or running down the street very well. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning.
Thank you. And as Kalina has been telling us all morning long, this rain is making for a dangerous and really tough commute. So we do want to get right to Kcal's Rick Montanez now, who's live in the Cajon Pass. Rick, how's it going out there?
wet and slow on the freeway, which things look for the most part pretty good. This is the 15 here at the 138 off ramp, and those headlights coming toward us, that is the southbound lanes of traffic. We have seen a couple of spinouts, so dangerous conditions if you are not adjusting to what is on the road, which is, of course, a lot of rainwater. We talked with one woman just a short time ago who pulled over because of the rain.
Super windy. My car is like all over the place, and I keep on hydroplaning. It's kind of crazy. It's scary. My sister's behind me the whole time. She's like, "Oh my God," freaking out.
Yes, so a pretty good idea of what these conditions are like for drivers this morning. Traffic is pretty heavy here in the southbound lanes of the 15 as people are starting their morning commute. So just take some extra time and know that it will take you longer to get to your destination. Reporting live in the Cajon Pass, Rick Montanez, Kcal News.
Rick, thank you. And we have breaking news right now. Let's check in with the desk.
Yeah, that breaking news coming out of Montecito right now. Now, we're learning that a portion of the canyon of Montecito is under an evacuation order. Now, the city has been preparing for this atmospheric river for the past few days, but we want to get Mark Liu into the picture right now because, Mark, it's been 5 years since that deadly mudslide that happened back in 2018. 23 people were killed, over 100 buildings demolished because of this, and now we're more evacuation orders. You actually just spoke with the city.
Yeah, right. The city of Montecito is very concerned about this current rainstorm because of what happened back in 2018. As you said, that mud flow from the Thomas Fire burn area was disastrous for the city, and this storm could cause some of the same problems. This is video from back in 2018. When we sent our news crews up there, we were just absolutely appalled at the amount of damage that we saw, and over 100 homes were destroyed in that area. Now, the city of Montecito is very concerned this could happen again. So take a look at my computer screen. This is the Montecito Fire District's storm impact map I want to show you. It basically shows, here it is. This is the area of Montecito and Carpinteria. These red areas basically here in the canyons are areas of extraordinary concern for the city of Montecito, and these are the areas that are under an evacuation order. If you live in this area, you need to get out because this storm last time caused extreme damage to those areas and loss of life. They want to prevent any of that they can, and so they are asking people in those areas to please leave immediately.
All right, Mark, thank you. And we are tracking new details in a deadly officer-involved shooting. This is an active investigation. Takar Smith was shot and killed at a Westlake apartment Monday when police say he refused to drop a knife and lunged towards officers multiple times. Body cam video of what happened will be available in the next 45 days. Gas prices didn't change today for LA County. The average price is still $4.53 for a gallon of regular. In Orange County, it dropped slightly to $4.56. In Ventura County, it's $4.55. And in the IE, gas went to $4.41. Caltrans is telling drivers that travel is really not recommended all across the state. This warning comes with a safety checklist that includes reminders including to check your wiper blades and tire pressure before you drive, identify alternate routes, and make sure to bring a blanket, snacks, water, and a phone charger with you if you do have to travel today, just in case. And a live look now at LAX, where traffic is building up right now. There are 62 delays out of the airport, 18 cancellations. If you have a flight out of any of our local airports, arrive extra early and definitely expect some delays because of all of this weather we're dealing with.
Yeah, good morning, ladies. Roads outside are a mess, and we're going to continue to experience that as we continue through the morning and even into the afternoon hours. So we've already seen some really heavy rain through parts of LA. Places like Woodland Hills already at 3 inches of rain, and we're going to continue seeing more over the next several hours. Here's a look at the San Gabriels. We're seeing some moderate to heavy rain through some spots up in the mountains. We're still getting some snow with levels lowering as we continue through the day into early Friday. And here's a look at the big picture. So some spots seeing some dry conditions out through Ventura, some light rain, but we're still expecting more on the way. We'll continue tracking that for you as we continue through the morning. For now, a look at the roads. Kalina Strinos is tracking that for us. Good morning.
And it's been busy out there this morning. We do have several problem spots out there, lots and lots of delays. So please, if you can, just stay home today. Don't head out. You can work remote if that's an option for you. I just really want to urge you to just be careful careful. We're still looking at this deadly crash here eastbound 10 right at Kellogg Drive. No real update aside from all lanes are still blocked off, and we're not quite sure when this will be lifted. Traffic does continue to build up here, so please take the 210 or the 60 freeways instead. We still have this flooding on the northbound 710 right at the 91. You can see traffic building on the southbound 710 approaching the 91 as well as the northbound side. And then I do want to give you a look at Orange County 5 North at Red Hill. A new problem here, carpool lane off limits. Ladies.
All right, Olga, thank you. Time now 6:40, and still to come, our coverage of the major storm with rain all over the Southland continues.
And good morning, everybody. Our big storm has caused quite a stir on social media, from Kcal shots straight from a movie to a preview of possible lightning we could see here. I'll have much more at the social desk in just a few.
LA, you can now catch CBS Mornings from 4 to 6. And if you didn't catch us then, we're back from 7 to 9.
4 hours of CBS Mornings from 4 to 6 and 7 to 9.
Everything your morning should be.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kcal News this morning at 6 and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. The time now, 6:44. And we are seeing the full brunt of this atmospheric river hitting our part of the state. And we got a taste of it last night locally.
Yeah, in parts of Northern California, we're really seeing Mother Nature's wrath. Let's go to Kristen Smith now at the social desk for more on that. You've been seeing these videos coming in.
Yeah, good morning, ladies. Images you could even say are flooding in on social media. And we're grateful for all of you tagging Kcal in your weather pictures so we can get them on the air. I want to pull up my first post and give you a look at a very eerie sight over LA from the sky as this storm moved in. Kcal flying above overnight. Now, we've time-lapsed this video for you so you can really see the clouds hanging low and the rain moving in. Rain cleared just enough for us to fly for about an hour or so. There was some moderate rain you can see there on the windshield, but then it really started to pick up. So the commute this morning is what a lot of people are talking about. And ladies, you know, Kalina's been doing a great job covering the roadways and traffic. How was your commute? As I came from Burbank to Studio City on the 134 West, it was that big neon sign that Rick Montanez and Cara Finstrom have been showing that says, listen, if you can hold off driving until tonight, then you should.
I just am happy to be here right now. I'm glad I made it.
It was like a 10 and 2 focus going way under the speed limit kind of commute, and you have to be really careful out there.
It was, and that's a good tip, 10 and 2. And next up, well, with rain comes thunder and lightning, and the lightning strikes have already touched down in parts of Northern California. We got some great posts about this and some video to show you posted by Michael Steinberg in the small town of Ione, which is roughly 50 miles southeast of Sacramento. Take a look at that. Wow. Mother Nature just lighting up the night sky there. And we have another clip to show you. This one comes in from Donovan Johnson, not too far away. Just intense lightning, and you can hear the rain coming down hard. This is less than a mile from Johnson's house, so lightning striking above your home, that's got to be frightening. And this is the kind of weather we typically see in hurricane or tropical storm type conditions. So just those bright flashes in the night sky is just incredible to see. Definitely be safe out there. And if there is lightning, of course, experts say to stay inside if you can. And ladies, lastly, I want to show you our Kcal viewers are kind of seeing the bright side this morning. They are sharing a little irony with us this morning. And so take a look at this. I want to pull up a post and show you for yourself. Batista driving in the rain while ironically listening to this song, It Never Rains in Southern California. A little humor for your morning. And hey, I want to give a quick shout out to Joseph Ramoni as well, who's giving us a little expert advice this morning. Kcal viewer, and he says, number 1, go slower. Number 2, keep more distance between you and the car in front of you. And number 3, go slower.
That's good advice. I'm a little worried for Sergio, though. I hope he's not taking video right now in these conditions.
Exactly not. I hope not. And so you've got to just be super safe out there. But we do appreciate all the posts and keep them coming and tag Kcal.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thanks so
right.
much, Kristen. Okay, now we will send it over to Olga with the very latest storm track.
Hi, ladies, and I have one more tip. If you can stay home, do so because it is a mess out there. Take a look at our 3-hour loop satellite radar showing us still some rain, some pockets of heavy rain, and that's still going to continue as we head into the afternoon hours. So out through the San Gabriel Valley, up in the mountains, we're seeing also a mix of rain and some snow. Levels will be lowering as we head into this afternoon and into this evening, even early tomorrow. And here's a look at conditions. So that storm is going to continue pushing to the east. Let's take a look at this radar tracker together and show you what is happening as we head into the next few hours. I'll take you hour by hour and show you where those heavy rain cells are, where you see those reds, oranges, yellows. That indicates some of that heavier rain that is moving into the IE as we head into right around mid-morning. Still across some spots through the LA County area. And then by late morning, we're actually seeing a lot of that out to the east. A lot of LA and Ventura getting a bit of a break from that intense rain. But as we head into the afternoon, yes, we still have some more heavy rain headed our way. Santa Clarita Valley being impacted right around 2:30, and then continuing to still see some showers in the afternoon, not as widespread as what we're experiencing right now. And then by 6:30, a lot of that heavy stuff out through the Coachella Valley and continuing to taper off as we head into late tonight and into early Friday. In fact, we're going to continue with some dry conditions as we head into your Saturday. Also, there is some rain to our north, but we're going to get a little bit of a break. Potentially still talking about more wet weather as we head into early next week. But we're talking a lot about flooding. We have flood watch in place across our region. And the reason for that is because we've had days and days of rain. That soil is saturated, and all this rain that's falling now is just pooling and running off quickly. So we're going to continue to see those flash flood dangers, also mud and debris flow for those recent burn areas. I'll continue tracking that for you throughout the morning. For now, we're going to check in with Kalina Strinos tracking the roads for us.
Good morning. It's been very, very busy out there. We do have a live look at one of our cameras. This is a 215 freeway right at Martin Luther King Boulevard. You can see a lot of cars out there this morning, brake lights, of course. So please, I cannot stress this enough. Give yourself extra time, and if you do have to head out, make sure you have plenty of space in between you and the car in front of you. We are still tracking this deadly crash. This happened hours ago, eastbound 10 right at Kellogg Drive. We have all lanes blocked off still. No known duration on when it's going to open up right now. We do have alternate routes for you, though. You can take the 210 or 60 freeways. And then this problem spot right now, the 105 east at Long Beach Boulevard, running a traffic break to get this crash out of the way. Ladies?
All right, thank you so much for that. And you may or may not. Good morning, Jake. You may or may not enjoy traveling by bus, but we have the story of a bus you'll probably love.
I think so, just based on the looks of that. And because it's not for people, this is for pups. We'll have that story just ahead.
Get CBS News Los Angeles on the CBS News app. Download now.
Taking a live look now at the numbers on Wall Street today, and
the Dow is down about 374 points. U.S. stocks closed higher yesterday after the minutes from last month's Federal Reserve meeting showed a continued interest in containing inflation. The Dow jumped 133 points, the Nasdaq gained 71 points, and the S&P 500 rose 28 points. And there are more job losses ahead for the tech industry. Amazon now says it'll cut more than 18,000 jobs this year, a big increase over last year's initial announcement that around 10,000 employees would be laid off.
General Motors is back on its perch as the nation's top auto seller after reporting that it sold 2.27 million vehicles in the U.S. in 2022. GM's 2.5% rise in sales last year was largely driven by purchases of gas-powered trucks and SUVs. The Detroit automaker reclaimed the crown from rival Toyota, which reported 2.1 million vehicle sales last year.
Okay, there is much more news ahead. We want to send it over to Jamie Yukis with a look at what is coming up at 7.
Did you guys know it's raining?
Is it?
I had a vague idea.
Okay, well, we're going to be continuing to follow all of these storms. Specifically, in the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to go down to Orange County, check in with them because it is hitting them, because it is hitting them, because it is hitting.
Good morning. Taking a live look at LAX. You can see all of that traffic. No surprise on a stormy morning like this. There are a lot of delays and cancellations at LAX, so make sure you check before you head out. Well, it definitely isn't a Greyhound bus.
Bama. Good morning, Jake.
It definitely isn't a Greyhound bus, but there are hounds in it. Nothing but dogs jump into their assigned seats here, and they're attached to leashes rather than seat belts all along the way. It picks up waiting passengers with wagging tails. They even get a complimentary treat with their ride. The doggy bus is operated by Mo Mountain Mutts in tiny Skagway, Alaska. It's a husband and wife team offering dog training and dog walking, and by the looks of it, they might have been better behaved than a busload of kids. Okay, and now let's go to our assignment manager, Mark Liu, with the stories we're tracking today. Mark.
Yeah, thanks, Marcy. It is almost time for our first editorial meeting, and I want to give everybody a preview of what we're going to be talking about today. But let's be honest, there is one big story in Southern California, and that's the rain. We have rain everywhere, and we have got people all over the city covering that. Take a look at my computer screen. I want to show you some of the things we've got. Santa Clarita rain, San Gabriel Valley mud concerns, Orange County and Inland Empire rain, and the metro area. We are going to have people in all of these places. There are some other things, though, that I want to try and get to today. There's going to be a press conference in the Crenshaw area about a fatal hit and run from earlier. Billy Idol's supposed to get a star on the Walk of Fame today. That's going to be kind of in the rain. And also there's going to be a mass for Pope Benedict at the cathedral downtown. We're going to try and get to that. All of these things, and of course today's breaking news, and there's going to be a lot of it, Marcy. We're going to cover it all here at the desk. Back to you.
Mark, thanks so much. And CBS Mornings is coming up at the top of the hour on CBS Los Angeles. Tony DeCopel has a preview from New York.
Good morning, Marcy. Good morning, Ruta Bay. Good to see you guys on this Thursday. We got a great show coming up in just a few minutes on CBS Mornings. We have a CBS News investigation into the technology inside the Russian military drones currently terrorizing Ukraine's civilian population. Why are some key parts being made by Western companies? Also, we're in London for reaction to new allegations by Prince Harry, who, according to new excerpts released by The Guardian, Harry writes in his new memoir he got into a physical altercation with his brother, Prince William. Plus, David Azenbegno, he's got a magical story about a little girl who goes to great lengths to get the pet of her dreams. Not the pet you're thinking of. All that and more at 7.
Get CBS News Los Angeles on the CBS News app. Download now.
Got your phone handy? Of course you do. Scan this right here. Download the CBS LA app. And just like that, you're connected to all the best local news and videos. Now, if only everything were this easy.